Hey everyone, Mike Burke here with InsideRealEstatePhotography.com, and in this video we're going to go over incorporating AI into your real estate videos, including virtual staging and more. So as we all know, AI is infiltrating pretty much every aspect of our lives these days, and the real estate photography industry is no different. This video specifically is focusing on the use of AI in real estate videos, so that's what I'm going to be narrowing in on in this video. So I'm sure many of us have noticed the use of AI in real estate videos these days. In some ways good, some ways not so good, in my opinion. Things like houses exploding, things of that nature are a little over the top. It's like we got this new toy and everyone is, going overboard with it right now, I feel like. But there are really good and tasteful ways of using it, in my opinion. Of course, this is all subjective, so don't be mad at me if your opinions don't align with mine, but I want to share the ways that I've been utilizing it in my own videos, in ways that my clients have found a lot of value and actually have been going nuts over. Things like virtual staging, like day to night transitions that are not real day to night transitions, they're done by AI, that sort of thing. I've been incorporating those things into my videos and I've been getting amazing feedback. And I've also been getting other agents like seeing my videos on Instagram saying, oh, I want to do that for my next video, things like that. But the thing we have to be careful here is not to give away the milk for free. So these are add-ons. Like, I hope industry-wide we can all agree that like these are extra steps and extra work involved in incorporating these things into our videos. Even though it's done by AI, it's still extra time and effort. So we should all be charging for these as add-ons, in my opinion. I'm going to show you a few examples of how I've utilized AI in a few recent videos, but specifically in this video, I'm going to demo virtually staging an empty room in a real estate video. I'm going to show you how to do that with the video clip, the sort of step-by-step workflow process of it, in case this is something you want to incorporate into your own real estate videos. So I know AI is sort of a controversial topic these days, and whether or not you like the use of AI in real estate videos, I still think it's important to know how to use this stuff because that's the way the world and this industry is moving. So we either need to embrace AI or fall behind, really, is what it's going to come down to. We need to know how to utilize these tools and incorporate them into our workflow in ways that are enhancing what we're already doing, making things better. And I know there's a lot of people worrying out there whether or not we're all going to have jobs in, a few years from now. I'm not going to get into all that, but I think we will. But I think we just need to know how to utilize these tools properly. And, I think there's always going to be need for us to go out to these properties and shoot them. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump on the computer and take a look. Before we dive back into the video, I want to quickly tell you about our sponsor, Pixelmob. If you're a real estate photographer looking to lighten your workload, or struggling to find a reliable editor, or just not getting the professional results that you're looking for, then Pixelmob is the solution. Pixelmob is a platform built by real estate photographers for real estate photographers that connects you with skilled editors for all types of real estate photo editing, including but not limited to HDR blending, flambient, object removal, virtual staging, and even video editing. Every editor in their marketplace is vetted to ensure quality, and I love that there's a peer review system so you can see ratings before choosing the right editor for your job. Plus, the editors only get paid once you're fully satisfied with the results. Pixelmob is a much needed resource in our industry and can make a huge difference in your workflow. Signing up is completely free, and if you use my link, pixelmob.com/IREP, you'll get $5 in credit towards your first order. You'll also find that link down in the description of this video. So do yourself a favor and go check out Pixelmob. I'm confident that you're going to be thrilled with what they have to offer. All right, guys, so first, here I am in Final Cut Pro. I just want to show you a couple examples of what I'm talking about on a few reels and things like that that I've done recently. So let me just play for this for you. This is a couple clips of virtual staging. So you can see the furniture is just like populating in. All right, here's another example from another reel I did of a day to night transition using AI. So you can see it's sort of like a time lapse, turns into like a twilight shot. Again, really cool. And I think, again, these are like tasteful ways of using it. Like, I don't think it's that cheesy or over the top, in my opinion. I think it's like a tasteful way of using it. And I mean, it looks pretty cool. Like I think, and again, the clients are loving it. So, I mean, and at the end of the day, you know, that's what's most important anyway. So, all right, guys, so let's hop over to the internet and let me just show you the site I use to generate these clips, and it's called Higgsfield AI. I will link to this down in the description below. I have a like sort of an affiliate link that I'll get some sort of kickback from them, but that's really honestly not what this is about. It just so happens that they have one. I was making this video regardless, and I just saw that they have one. So anyway, if you sign up with my link, I appreciate it. I'll get some sort of kickback. So thank you for doing that if you decide to do it. So you can see here like all the sort of engines that are available. Like these are all different engines like Sora and, you know, WAN and, you know, et cetera, and they all do kind of specialize or do different things, and you can create similar things to these example clips that are on here. So this is a sort of subscription thing like everything else is these days, but I signed up for the Pro plan, which is, you know, it's not too much. The reason I recommend the Pro is because this start and end frame control, this is sort of how you do the, you know, the virtual staging and stuff. So that's sort of necessary. So you actually probably need to do the Pro plan. So this would be what I recommend. Like I've used 7% of my credits this month, and that's been plenty so far. I think it's already going to reset soon. So the Pro plan is what I recommend. Anyway, if I go over here to video, you can kind of see like the clips that I've been doing in recent reels. Also, you know, you'll find that this is like any other AI program where you like, it's a sort of trial and error process. It can get a little bit frustrating at times because you're like typing in certain prompts and it might not do what you want it to do. So you kind of have to keep fiddling with it a little bit. You can see my prompt here, have the scene transition from day to night in a way that looks like a time lapse with the clouds clearing, revealing a starry night sky. So just to show you what that looks like, this is the clip that it generated, and I just use this in the recent reel that I'm working on actually right at the moment. So that's really cool. That came out awesome, I thought. Like the clouds clear, it did exactly what I asked it to do. All right, so I'm going to grab a clip from this same project here for our demo here, and let's just go through the steps of how to achieve this sort of thing with the AI. It goes the same for day to night or the virtual staging. The process is all the same for me in my workflow, so I'm just going to go over how that's done step by step. So we have a clip here of sort of going into the dining room here. You know, obviously there's no furniture. So what we need to decide is where we want the sort of virtual staging animation to take place. So I'm just going to play this clip and like, boom, like right there, right as it enters the room. So I'm just going to make a cut here. So as you can see on the timeline, I just cut that. I just want to save this now, this frame as a still frame, like a JPEG. So depending on which video editing program you're using, in Final Cut, you can just go up here to share and just save current frame. I'm going to just save this as it's a JPEG, so I'm going to go next, virtual stage demo, and hit save. All right, so now that we have our still frame saved, I'm going to go back to the internet here, and I'm going to open a new tab, and we need to stage this photo now. So what I use to do that, I use another AI, which is Google Gemini. So if you go gemini.google.com, and this is free, by the way, so this doesn't cost anything. I'm going to go to this plus button where it's add files and just go to upload files. And then I'm just going to go to desktop and find that virtual staging, still frame that we saved. So I'm going to hit open. All you have to do is type a prompt in here, which I'm just going to say, stage the photo with elegant dining room furniture. This is sort of a high-end house, so I want it to be, you know, elegant. Let's just see what this does. You know, again with the prompts, you know, it may be good, it may not be. All right, so this is what it came back with. This is more like traditional style, totally not the vibe of the house, which is more like modern and whatever. So let me try a different prompt here. I'm just going to re-upload it. All right, so this is what it came back with this time. Definitely more along the lines of the vibe. I mean, it looks too small for the room, and there's other issues with it. Like, I wouldn't actually use this. I would probably keep prompting to get a little bit better of an outcome, but for the sake of this demonstration, this will do just fine. So that I'm just want to show you how this is done. So once you have what you like, here, I'm going to download full size. So if I look at the image size here, it's only 768 by 1344. And we want this to be at least, we want this to be like HD, so because my timeline that I'm editing in is 1080 by 1920. So we want to enlarge this. I'm going to use this other AI tool called Gigapixel AI by Topaz. You probably have heard of that. You possibly have heard of that before as well. But before I do that, Gemini puts this little, like, stupid little, you know, brand or watermark on it and on all their images. So it's very easy to remove. If you just use a remove tool in Photoshop real quick and just go whoop, and it'll take it right out. So I'm going to save that now. So if I open this in Topaz Gigapixel, this is a paid program too, so, you know, again, you could do this in Photoshop and it'll be fine. No one will be the wiser. You can just kind of just do it. Literally all it does is upscale images and uses AI to, like, you know, invent new pixels basically. And so you can see here, you can use 1 times, 2 times, whatever. I just custom because I've been working a lot with Reels, so I just did the height as 1920, and for some reason the width is showing as 1097, whatever, that's fine. And I just use the standard model, and that's really it. And I just save it as a JPEG here. Oh, also it'll bring it up to 300 PPI too, which actually isn't even necessary. It doesn't need to be that high resolution, but I don't know, it does a good job with it. So I'm just going to export this image and save it. You can change it to JPEG. It is actually in a PNG. I don't know, I changed it to JPEG. And I hit save. All right, so now we have basically our start and end frame. So our start frame is the empty room still frame, and the end frame is the room with the furniture in it, the one we just virtually staged. So now we have to bring these over to Higgsfield, and we can put these in a start and end frames. This is, again, why you should have the Pro subscription, because the other basic subscription doesn't let you do start and end. So, and we're gonna ask it to, you know, create a video clip, you know, as that being the start and that being the end, animating the furniture coming in. So let's hop over to Higgsfield and take a look at that. All right, so hopping over back here to Higgsfield, I just want to go to video, and I want to go to create video. And by default, the model won't be Kling, but you want the model to be Kling 2.1, which will give us the start frame and end frame. Also, you want to just pick general here for the whatever you call it, the category. So now we can upload our start and end frames here and type a prompt in. Start frame, I'm going to click there, and I'm going to go to the folder. I just moved these two off camera. So here we have the empty frame, which is our start frame. So I'm going to open that as start. All right, so now you can see that's in there as start frame. And then end frame, I'm going to click on that and pick our staged photo that we upscaled, which is this one from Topaz. So I'm going to hit open. So for the prompt, I'm simply going to type in, have the furniture come in one piece at a time. And that's all I'm going to type for that. And then you can pick, you know, 5 seconds or 10 seconds as far as the final clip. 10 seconds will cost you 20 credits, you know, and 5 will be 10. But I do both, but, you know, for the virtual staging, I like to do 10 just to have extra, like, room to play with. And also you can just speed it up if you need to, which we probably will do, you'll see. But then you could have, you know, 1080 or 720. I guess 720 is obviously lower, or lower credits, but of course we want 1080 because that's what our timeline is in. We don't want to be upscaling a 720p clip to a 1080 timeline. We'll be losing resolution. You know, we have all that in there. We just have to hit generate here and just wait for it to, you know, create the clip, and then we'll see what we get. All right, so the clip is finished generating. Let's see what we got. That's kind of funny, the rogue flies in. I kind of interpreted it my prompt as the furniture actually entering the room from outside. I think that's why I did that way. I forget the prompt I used before where it kind of came up out of the floor, but you could just change that to say like have the furniture come in out of the floor or whatever, you know. So you might want to, you know, mess with that. I mean, this looks a little silly with the way it's doing it, but for the sake of this tutorial, you get the gist. And I'm going to download this. All right, so hopping over back to Final Cut, I'm just going to grab our clip here that we generated, and I'm going to bring this into the timeline. And I'm going to stick this now right where we made that cut. And so if I play this now, the camera's moving in, cut, and like the animation happens. As I said, it's a little too, you know, long. There's a lot of extra space at the end. So I'm going to cut the end down right to like after the animation stops. I'm going to cut the beginning a little bit, so we can have a little bit of, you know, room there on the end. And then I'm going to go to fast here. I'm just going to go to like 200% just to speed it up a little bit. This is just an idea. I just want to give you ideas. If you copy this clip, so now we have two versions of the same clip. I'm just going to, you know, go here and reverse it, reverse clip. And now, you know, it'll just reverse out. So, you know, you could have the furniture come flying in and then just back out the same way, and then the clip continues on, you know. So that's another creative way to do it. So like you have to get a little creative here. And again, this is just a stagnant clip here, so we want to add some movement to it. Firstly though, I want to add a transition here because look, it just kind of stops, and for some reason the AI like upped the exposure on it a little bit too, so there's like a little bit of an exposure difference here. You can see it get brighter. Anyway, a transition really helps to sell this. As you saw in my other examples, I use transitions every time. One of these, like a flash transition. So, I mean, you can get these from wherever. Just use some sort of transition. I'm going to put this on the beginning and the end. So now if we watch it, you can see it just as a flash. So it makes that like that transition a lot less jarring, and makes it look, it helps sell the whole effect a lot better, you know, make it look a lot more seamless. Now I just simply want to add some movement to this to again help sell it a little bit better and make it look more interesting and cool. So I'm just going to select all these clips, and I'm going to create a compound clip here. So it'll say okay. And depending on what video editing program, like they all have the ability to keyframe and animate your clips. So I'm doing this in a way, you know, that I would on Final Cut, but you can just go into each individual clip and add keyframe animations. I'll just show you how to do that. It's very simple to do. So now a compound clip just makes it look like one continuous clip. And the reason I do that, because like with the transitions and everything, sometimes things can get funky with animating it. So I just want to find the point where like the the flash is like pretty much at full power right here. Let's try this. So right at this point, I'm going to go up here to my controls here, and you'll see transform. And again, you know, almost all video editing programs have this, and it's pretty much the same exact thing. So this should be easy to follow in any program. So I'm going to set a keyframe here for position, which is just, that's what these are, setting the keyframes, and scale. And that's really it. You could do rotation if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that. I want to go to the very end where the flash happens again. And I want to set another keyframe here because I want it to go back to its original position before, you know, continuing on like nothing ever happened. So I just want to set that at 100%. So, but in the middle where the animation finishes, like right about here, since I already set a keyframe, now I can just change some of these parameters and it will automatically set a keyframe. So I just want to scale up. You can see it automatically set keyframes here. So I'm going to scale up, yeah, maybe to like 20% or so, like 120 or something. That's all I'm going to do. I set position, but I didn't need to use it. But if you needed to move it and, you know, change the centering of it, you know, you could do that. So now if I play this, and it's now the camera's like slightly zooming in and then back out as it goes away, and it flashes and then continues on. So we could add even more movement to this. I'm going to crank this up even more to like 40 or, 40. Let's just try something like around here. So now if I play this back, so now it's, yeah, that's much better. It's really moving in now and then back out. All right, guys, so that's really my workflow for generating and incorporating AI clips into my real estate videos. Again, this has been really impactful and clients have really been blown away by it. So hopefully this shed some light on it for you in case maybe you were like wondering how people were doing it. Hopefully it will help you make more money, make better videos. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I really appreciate your support. Again, I have a link down to Higgsfield AI, in the description. So, feel free to use that link. It helps me get a little bit of a kickback. Also, I have great other links down there as well. Of course, to our sponsor, Pixelmob. Definitely check them out for all sorts of real estate editing, including video editing, if that's something you're interested in. Also, I got links down there to editing practice packs, sky replacement pack that I've created, a bunch of gear recommendations, etc., etc. A lot of great resources down there, so check that out. Thanks again so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon on the next one.